Hello there. In this video we're going to play Songbird. It's a song by the group Oasis, and it requires just two chords, G and E minor. And we're going to each play a different part here. So Kenna's going to play the full chords on her guitar, so the G chord like this and the E minor like this. And I'm going to play the simpler version of the chords, so three-string versions, the G chord like this, and then E minor like this. Alright, and that's all we're just gonna play this song through one time with the recording, just like we would in guitar class, and then after that I'll show you the three different ways that you can play it, practice it. Alright, here it is, Songbird by Oasis. Ready? Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can play Songbird. I'll start with the easiest one. I'm going to use three-string chords for this. The chords we need are G and E minor. So the three-string G chord is this, so we're going to play G open, B open, and on the high E string I'm going to put my third finger on the third fret and play those three strings. And that is a three-string G chord. Alright, for the E minor, I'm going to lift my finger and just play all open strings. So the same three strings, the G, the B, and the high E. There's your E minor chord. So G and E minor. Alright, so we're just going to switch between those two chords. So we're going to play four measures of each. So four groups of four G's, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then switch to E minor. 2, 3, 4, and then back to G. And just pretty much repeat that throughout the entire song. Except for the very beginning, we play a couple extra measures of G. Alright, let's move on to bigger chords. So the G chord, I'm going to give you a couple different ways you could play this. So we're going to put our finger back on the high E string, third fret. Alright, and then a five-string version of this chord, we're going to add one more note here on the low E. So the third fret as well. And then my finger here is flattened out a little bit, so I'm blocking out the A string so that when I strum, I don't get that string. I just get the low E and then D open, G open, B open, and then the high E string with my finger on the 3rd fret. And that sounds like this. Alright, that's a 5-string G chord. If we want to make that a 6-string G chord, we're just going to take this finger here and put it on the 2nd fret of the A string and strum all 6. Alright, so there's a 6-string G chord. Alright, a 6-string E minor chord looks like this. So I have my finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and 2nd fret of the D string, and then everything else is open. So that's a 6-string E minor chord. Alright, so same thing like with the simple chords. So we're going to play 4 measures of G, then 4 measures of E minor, and switch back and forth. Alright, so one more thing we can do with this song is add a bass line. So what we're going to do is when we play the G chord, we're going to play that for 3 measures, and then on the 4th measure, right before we switch to the E minor chord, we're going to change this note to this. Actually, the chord to this. So what I'm doing is I'm changing my 3rd fret note to a 2nd fret note, and I'm blocking out the A string. So like that. That is a G chord with the F sharp in the bass. Alright, so we're going to, on that 4th measure, G, F sharp, and then go to the E minor chord. Okay, we play that for 3 measures. And on the 4th measure, we're going to play 2 beats of E minor, and then we're going to play this chord, which is an E minor with an F sharp bass. So I'm going to put my finger back on that 2nd fret of the low E string, and then go back to G. Alright, so basically we're going to go like this. So G, 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 F sharp bass, E minor, E minor, E minor, E minor, F sharp bass, and G. Okay, and repeat that pattern throughout the song. Alright, there are the chords for Songbird.